times. If I had to tag this morning, I'll tell you that prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. You got to get to that place that you know that prayer changes things. No matter how bad it may seem, no matter how bad things may be right now in your life, how things may be turned upside down, but you know that prayer changes things. If you believe that prayer changes things, you ought to hit that like button and say, I know prayer changes things, because you have already experienced the blessings of God. You have already experienced what God can do. But can I tell you this morning, if you really want to experience some things in your life, you want to really experience some things that the hand of God on your life, push your prayer life to another level. Push your prayer life to a place that you are dedicated, you're motivated, you dedicated to getting up every morning, you dedicated praying every evening, you dedicated praying every night, you dedicated this giving God the thing that due to him. You motivated because you know that when I pray, things happen. I got some friends in my life. They ain't big churchgoers, but they believe in praying. And sometimes I hate to say it, I take their prayers over a church person any day. Because their prayer life, I have seen the hand of God move in their prayer life. You got to connect with somebody that got a prayer life. I pray that you just not going to church and you did not connected to a body of believers and your prayer life ain't where it need to be. Every day you get up, you got to activate that prayer life. You got to motivate it. There gonna be some times you wake up in the morning that you don't feel like praying. There gonna be some time you don't feel like talking to God. Y'all ain't talking. There gonna be some times in your life when you feel like I'm just gonna go on about my day because I have not seen the hand of God. I have not seen God come through for me. But can I tell you, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep putting your feet in front of the other. Sooner or later, God is gonna come through for you. You got to make up in your mind, I'm gonna make this temple. I'm gonna make this temple a living sacrifice. I'm gonna make an altar in my heart. I ain't got to be down at a physical altar, but I got it in my heart. And I'm gonna give God everything that's due to him. When you make up in your mind, can I tell you how much your life gonna change? I don't care what you're going through, how much you crying yourself to sleep at night, how much you worried about what's going to happen and how you're going to make provisions or how you're going to work this thing out. You're going to come to a comfort, a peace in your spirit that is all in God's hand. You're going to come to a place in your life, whatever happens, let the chips lie where they may because it's in God's hand. And then you're going to start recognizing the small thing. God done did this. God don't come through for this. God don't do. You're gonna be fine every day. God gonna show you manifest Himself in your life. That's what you want. You want to make your living not your. You ain't got to make your physical house. You got to make this house. Stop worrying about the church house. If you don't never go back to the church, if you don't never walk between them doors, if you don't never sit out on a pew, you have made this a living sacrifice. You have made this place, your dwelling place, a sanctuary for God. That God, you are more than welcome in this temple. Is there anybody you have made up in your mind through all of you've been going through all of your ups and downs, through all of the hardships, all of the folks that done walked out of your life, all of the things you don't cried about, all of the no's you don't had to face, all of the doors that been slammed in your face, that you saying, God, I'm still gonna keep pressing. I'm gonna keep pressing. I'm gonna keep pressing. Is there anybody just gonna keep pressing? Because can I tell you, in order to get that life where you really wanted to, you got to go through some stuff. You got to experience some things. You're gonna have to experience some no's. You're gonna have to experience some slam doors. You got to experience some sickness in your body. You got to experience some down and out. Y'all ain't saying there's some heavy weight on your shoulders. But you know it's gonna pay off after a while. Do you believe it's going to pay off after a while? Take inventory of your life. Look back over your life and look how good God has been to you. Every day have been peaches and cream. Every day have not been all of that in a bag of chips. You don't went through some things, but you learn how to pray in the midst of it all. Yeah, you ought to be that one that say, I ain't praying because we find ourselves in a dilemma. I ain't praying because we find ourselves in a pandemic. I ain't praying because I got to wear this mask and these gloves on my hand. I'm praying because I know I got to have a relationship with God. When you recognize that you got to have a relationship with God, that's come automatic. You was praying before the pandemic. You were praying before the mask. You were praying before you put them gloves on because you recognized you needed that prayer life with God. Hit that like button and say, I know I got a prayer life. Hit that like button and say, ooh, if it had not been for prayer, I don't know where I'd be. If I had not made up in my mind that I'm going to give God some time in my life and turn this temple into a prayer sanctuary, woo, y'all ain't saying nothing in here. Can I tell you, I learned how to make this temple a prayer sanctuary. I don't have some up and some down. I don't have some struggles in my life. But I learned that when you pray, God work on your behalf. You know what an organization can do. And they can do some great things for you. You know what the government can do. And they can do some great things for you. Y'all ain't saying nothing. they don't send you a stimulus check. And you got that stimulus check and you got out there and you went to shopping again and you didn't know how you gonna pay them bills, but the government don't mess around and send you a check. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You know how organizations you can go to organizations and they can help you out and they can do things for you. Y'all ain't saying nothing. And you learn how to go to school and what the importance of going to school, and they can do the benefits of going to school, and you get education and open up doors for you and give you degrees where some jobs won't let you in. Y'all ain't talking nothing. And you recognize, because I got this education, because I got this degree, because I got this skill, and because I got this trade, I'm able to get this position in my life. And I'm able to move my life forward. I'm able to do things for my family and do things that I would not have ordinarily did. But can I bust your bubble this morning? If you got a prayer life, you can do way more. You can do way more than what you think you can do. Yeah. I know people that don't have education. I know people that don't have degrees. I know people that ain't got all of them letters behind their name. But because they got a covenant relationship with God, they got a relationship with God. They learn how to pray, turn down their plate, and fast and ask God, God, I'm going to bun God heaven. I'm going to bun God this system. I'm going to pray until you open up a door. Woo! I seen the hand of God do things in our life. I seen the hand of God open up doors when I don't have the education. I don't have the degree for it. But God opened up a door and they said, come on, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you a chance to show me what you can do. Because you got the hand of God on your life, prayer changes things. Woo! Prayer change. Tell somebody, type it in there. Prayer changes things. You got to know without a shadow of a doubt. You ain't got time to lean on Big Mama's prayers. You ain't got time to lean on your brother and sister prayer, your mom and daddy prayer. You ain't got time to lean on your pastor's prayers. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You got to learn how to lean on your own prayer and know what God can do for yourself. Woo! Do you know what God can do for you? Do you know that God can open up doors with the things that you've been praying about? That application that you don't feel out? And you've been saying, God, when I'm going to get that job? When I'm going to get that good position? Keep praying. Get your board. Write it down. Put it on your mirror. Put it in your car. That this going to be mine. Pray over that thing. And say, God, when you pray over it, you can't have no doubt. You got to believe without a shadow of a doubt. Prayer changes things. If you believe that prayer changes things, look at somebody in your house. Look at somebody that's around you. Say, honey, prayer changes things. You can talk about me. You can call me any kind of name you want to. You can say, I'm this, that crazy person. I'm crazy for God. That's why I have learned when you pray, you got to just sit back and just say, I'm going to wait on God. I'm going. It's out of my hands. I'm just going to lay back. I'm going to let God handle this thing. That you got to get to that place that God, it's in your hands now. I done did all I can do. I'm going to do my part. God, it's your part now. I'm going to do my part. God, it's your part now. You got to learn how to, don't say God do it and you're not doing anything. You got to pray. You got to leave out of your house. You got to fill out them application. You got to know without a shadow of a doubt that God is going to do some things in your life. God is going to turn that child around. That child that's locked up, that's wavering and trying to do their own thing. And you know you've been praying and seeking God and saying, God, you got to turn that boy around. You got to turn that girl around. You got to bring them in. You got to pray about that thing and say, God, I know you're going to do it. I don't know when you're going to do it, but all I know that the hand of God is on their life. And they can't run but for so long. Woo! Somebody say hallelujah. Yeah. I'm committed. I know without a shadow of a doubt the handprint of God is on my life. You got to get to the place in your life that you know that still small voice. You know that still small voice. Those of you that know me, you know I got this saying that if my children was in a crowd of 100 people, if my children was in that place, all the light was out, everybody's talking, everybody's doing their own thing, and my child holler, call my name, Daddy, I know my child voice. And if they call my name long enough, I'm going to make my way in between all of those people and find my baby. You got to get to that place in God that no matter what's going on, all the trouble, all the headache, all the ups and downs, all the weight on your shoulder, all the thing that's running in your mind. And when God's speaking to your spirit, you know that's God speaking. You're not confused about if this God or this the enemy or this my mind playing tricks on me. I know the voice of God. You got to get to that place in your life that you know the voice of God. In the midst of all that you got going on, in the midst of everything that's around you. I don't care how noisy it is. I don't care how much drama going on. I don't care how much when God speaks, you shut down. And say, God, here I am. I'm listening. Speak to me, Lord. Tell me what you want me to know. Speak into my spirit. Let me know what directions I need to go. Let me know what avenue I need to take. Y'all ain't saying nothing in here. Get to the place in your life that you know the voice of God. No matter how rough things is, you really got to know his voice. Because he's calling us back to that place in our life. He's calling us to that place that you ought to have a prayer life. Not because you find yourself in this pandemic. Not because things are rough. Not because you don't know where your next meal coming from. But I'm going to pray because I know how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm praying because I got money in my pocket. I'm praying because my car ain't broke down on me. I'm praying because I ain't got sickness in my body. Woo! Y'all ain't saying nothing. I learned how to pray when things are good, not just when things are bad. I learned how to do these things when things are rough. Can I tell you, my life ain't always been good. It ain't all of that now. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I experienced some ups and downs. I experienced some hardships in my life. I experienced a divorce. I experienced just about to lose everything. I experienced money falling out of my hand. I experienced my dimes going to nickels, my nickels going to pennies, my pennies, I experienced blowing the dust, like where all my money went. But I woke up one morning and seen the hand of God. God would give it all back to you. Look at somebody and say, God will give it all back to you. I don't care how much you have lost, how much it seemed like it's over, how much the world don't give up on you. Because you got a prayer life and you got the hand of God on your life, you have made your temple a living sacrifice. Holy and acceptable unto God is your reasonable service. Reverend, I ain't all of that. I mess up sometimes. I fall off sometimes. I miss the mark sometimes. Ain't no other preacher gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I miss the mark. I fall off sometimes. Every now and then, something might slip out of my mouth that ain't got no business. But I stop Lord, forgive me. Give me another chance to get it right. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for some honest people. If you ain't want no honesty, get off my line. Get off my page. Because I don't know no other way but to be honest with you. Why you go to church? Because you messed up. And you want God to work some things out for you. Why you go to church? Because you jacked up. You drink. You smoke. You do some old crazy stuff. And you want God to wake you up one morning and your life be no turned around. That's why. That's why. Your pastor, your church mother, your deacons, them members that done been there for 100 years, they ain't where they are because they come in there perfect. They ain't where they are. I got to get out of here because I don't mess around and got to happen. They ain't where they are because they got everything together when they walk through them doors. When they walked through them doors, they were jacked up. When they walked through them doors, they had a dilemma in their life. Something ran them to the house of God. But in the midst of them running to the house of God, God got a way of grabbing you, molding you, put you on the potter's wheel, turning things around in your life. Woo! That's the problem with a lot of Christians. Once they make it, once they get over some dilemmas in their life, and they don't have some struggles, maybe drinking ain't their struggle. Maybe running women's and running men's ain't their struggle. Cussing may not be their struggle. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But hatred is their struggle. Woo! They don't have a peace in their struggle is peace. They have no patience in their life. If they struggle. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But they soon forget it was God and their prayer life that start molding them, shaping them. And God never get finished with you. Every day you get up. Every day you get out of your bed. God is working on you. Tell somebody, say, God is working on me. You got to tell yourself, I'm not worrying about the next person. I'm not worrying about what they got going on. All I'm worrying about is what God is going to do in my life. And I'm going to pray until all of my situations turn around. This house is going to be the house of prayer. This house is going to be the house that God is pleased with. Because I'm going to make my temple be my altar that I'm praying. Every morning, every noonday, every night, while I'm working, I'm going to have a prayer in my spirit. I don't care what's going on around me. How much fussing and anger and hatred is going on around me. But when I got a prayer life on the inside, all of that don't go into my spirit. Because I'm feeding my spirit, man. I'm letting them know God is going to work things out. I'm letting them know that God is going to provide. I'm letting them know that God is going to make a way. I'm letting them know that thing you cried about last night, that's going to be my last night crying about it. That relationship, that man that walked out of my life, I ain't worrying about it because God is getting ready to work. He going to work on me and he going to send me somebody else. Y'all ain't talking. I ain't worrying about my bills not being paid because God has kept me here and God is going to make provisions for me. I'm going to just keep praying and ask God, you got to show up in my life. Everybody don't count me out. Everybody don't throw me to the curb. Woo, can I tell you, I'm a witness. I can testify. You don't need cheerleaders from afar. Sometimes in your life, you need some cheerleaders right up behind you. You need something where you can reach back. All of them family members way back there in the background. When you make it, they're on your wagon. I know he was going to be somebody. I know she was going to be somebody. I ain't need you now. I don't need you now. I need you when I was struggling. When I had to pray my way through. When I was crying, I needed somebody to lean on their shoulder and say, I'm having a rough time. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Can you please come and help me? You may not have that in your life. But I come this morning to tell you, when you got God on your side, you can always lean on God. Woo! You can say, God, this your boy. I got some struggles. If you don't come through, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. If you don't come through, I'm going to tell somebody off. If you don't come through, I might put these hands on somebody. But God, I need you to come through. I want you to keep praying. I want you to keep praying until God open up that window, until God open up that door. When you wake up and you ain't got nothing to worry about no more. I'm over with my 15 minutes, but I don't mess around and got happy. All I come to tell you that prayer changes things. That's what I come to tell you. Prayer changes things. Make your temper that prayer is going to be a part of your daily life. It's going to be just like breathing. It's going to be just like breathing. It comes so natural. When you start out, you may be few words. You don't know many words to say. But I come to tell you that once you do it, and 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 you do it, sooner or later it's going to start flowing like a river. It's going to start flowing like a river. And you're going to find yourself not praying for yourself, but praying for other people. You're going to find yourself interceding on other people's behalf. Woo! Can I tell you, I got some friends. They may not go to church every day. They may not go to church like I go to church, but they know how to bun God help them. They know how to intercede. And when I'm going through some dilemmas in my life, I can pick up my phone and say, baby, pray for me. I'm going through some stuff and I need God to come through for me. I don't always call another preacher, and you should have some preacher friends. I should have some preacher friends that I can call. But I got some friends that ain't churchy. I got some friends that may not be on that front row with that little lap, that thing over their lap. But they know how to get her. I'm gone, y'all. I told you 15 minutes. I'm over my minute. May the Lord bless you. I'll see you next week. May God smile upon you. I'm TJ Bethay. I approve this message. I'll see you next time. I'm out of here. See you.